All right, we are going to get into the fabric of Montparnasse, and I wanted to share some things that were surrounding me at that point. So, a lot of the themes when I was turning 23, and I think when everybody turns 23, is understanding the change that you can't always control. So, I always had a ghost on my birthday cake, but I lost one, so then I got myself another little ghost to put on my cake. So, you can always find a sense of home, even with change. This is just a tarot card. It means quite literally going forth with your passions, and it was part of a deck that I felt like I couldn't use because I lost this card, and then I found it under my bed. Yeah, okay. This is one of my best friend's places. I went there all the time, and this song was kind of written also about him because we were going through really similar things at the time, so it kind of felt like a little tether between us. Yeah, so it's just as much of his song as it is mine. I was listening to a lot of synth work and honestly a lot of Enya, which explains a lot of who I am. So this is just a little tape that my dad gave me, and I was looking through a lot of old footage of me at the piano, and this song kind of became more instrumental before it was vocal at all. So when you listen to it, it just makes sense because you can tell like, oh, this started out as entirely instrumental. Yeah, and this was the poem that it was also inspired by. So it's an E. Cummings poem. For whatever we lose, like a you or me, it's always ourselves we find in the sea. And this is just another little poem I wrote at that time, but I will share that. I'm sharing a little picture. These are the records I was listening to the most, and I think they all inspired the song in some sense. I don't have an Enya record, but she just as much inspired it. Yeah, Wise Blood is really cool. This is an album called Titanic Rising, and there is a track called Wild Time on here that I think is the most directly to Montparnasse. They're pretty similar in a sense of like they slowly build and you can hear the swelling. Boy Genius, the track that I was listening to a lot was Souvenir. And then Soccer Mommy, there are two tracks on here that I was listening to a lot that I would say inspired the song. So there is Night Swimming and then Up the Walls, those two. They're a bit sadder, but I just really like her instrumental choices. Yeah, and then this was my favorite book that I was rereading. Basically, it kind of deals with what I was explaining before. It's about this girl named Astrid, and she's like going from home to home in foster care and trying to understand like who she is without the influence of other people around her, but sometimes she would take on like other people's personalities to just get by. And then lastly, I'm gonna try to open my diary without revealing all my secrets. This is a dream I had right before I wrote this song. So I said, you played with me at the creek in my dream. You were the only one. We ran through the brush and then I looked behind me and you were gone. And I'm pretty sure I was honestly writing about myself as a kid. Anyway, that is the essence of this song. And it comes out on November 1st.